Oh my God, my brain, this game. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. Um, and I'm not talking about women, okay? I have a lot of thoughts about this game. Oh my God. All right, so really quick, we got to talk about the sponsor, and then we're going straight into this game, y'all. Because this was ridiculous. There's one thing that I'm happy about. Two, actually, two things I'm happy about. But we got a lot of things to rant about, y'all. I'm not even gonna front with you. I'm not gonna hold you. A lot of things to rant about. So big shout out to Sleeper. If you guys are interested in daily fantasy sports, go check it out. Use the promo code CLAN. You'll get a 100% match up to $100 if you go to the daily fantasy sports section. And all that is you go over to picks. You make your picks for the day. So, for instance, you say, here's all the NBA stuff. So you say, what's one that's pretty easy? Like Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker have over 28 points in the game versus the Clippers, right? If you believe that, you do that. There's some other less ones, some more ones. It's very simple. And then you just add it all in and you can make some money. If that's something you don't care about, at least download the app for the social media portion, in which you can go over to the NBA section and you can see all the updated stats, injury reports, all that good stuff, highlights, just what people are saying about these games. It's some good stuff. It's like social media just for sports. So if you guys are interested in that at all, go check it out. And it also goes well with the daily fantasy sports, so you can know what's actually going on, right? All right, so sorry, I got to do everything manually because, like I said, my stream deck isn't working. All right, so let's go to this Spurs game. Wow. So first and foremost, hold on, I'm bringing it up. I'll just put the stats on the screen. All right, we won't even. Yeah, we just put the stats on the screen. All right, so I'm just gonna go to the full box score. This game was the most frustrating game I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay, so first off, I don't want you guys to jump off the ledge. Okay, do not jump off the ledge. There's lots of things that the Spurs were missing. There's context to this game in which there is a bright spot. Okay, there is a bright spot. So don't jump off the ledge just yet. It's totally fine. It's 2 losses of the season, right? The Lakers, they have 2. We have 2. It's totally fine. It is what it is, right? We're what? Maybe like 3rd? And I don't think we dropped too far. We were 2nd. Now we're 3rd in the West. I expect the Spurs to end the season 4th. So, hey, we're on pace. But none of that matters. I don't care about any of that. I got to talk about this game. So first and foremost, before we talk about anything, chat, the free throws, how many free throws were given in this game? Good God almighty. Marcus Smart got 10. Luka Doncic got 17. Oh my God. Castle had 11. Wemby had 11. It was so many fouls. It seemed like they were calling fouls every second. The frustrating thing about this game was these refs, weirdly enough, they weren't bad. They were just like overly technical. You know what I mean? Like, it was like, well, technically as a foul, we're going to call it. Like, no, like, let them get away with a little bit. Like, that was, yes, NBA is unwatchable. That was unwatchable. Because it's like, dude, we didn't come to see you. You got to let these players play at some point. You can't even get a vibe or a feel of your opponent when they're calling fouls every freaking second, right? Every second they were calling fouls. And at the end of the game, I mean, even when they were calling fouls and it was in our favor, I think I tweeted out literally when it was a foul that brought us to the line. I tweeted out, I was like, this is too many fouls. Like this is too much. Even if it was in our favor, I thought it was too many fouls. And I felt like Lakers fans probably felt the same way. I mean, we're holding hands on this one. Like, you could have just let these players play a little bit. Like, good God. So that's number one. So that's outside of our team. So just talking about everything outside of our team, and then I'm going to go in on our Spurs, okay? So refs, dude, what are you doing? Oh my God. Why is there so many free throws? Why is there so many fouls? How many fouls were called in this game? Like 60, like, let's see. It was like over 60, y'all. 30 fouls on the Lakers, 36 on 66 personal fouls. This wasn't a double overtime game. 66. You seen my tweet, Clan? No, what was your tweet? 66 fouls. 66. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. If there was one more foul, you wouldn't have, like, if any of you guys are still in like grade school, you would not hear the end of it every day. 6, 7. You would hear it every day. 66. That's ridiculous, bro. Way too many fouls. The refs got too whistle happy. They thought the game was all about them. That's number one. But here's number two. In a game like this, when you're calling so many freaking fouls, right? So many freaking fouls. And the Los Angeles Lakers are our opponent that's full of foul baiters. I mean, just full of them. They're chock full of them. They love getting fouls on you, especially Marcus Smart. He is really good at that, right? He baits you every chance that he gets. It was so corny the way the Lakers were playing. If it was my team, I would have been happy. I would have called it good coaching. Because I'm biased and I'm getting the bad end of things, it was corny. That was corny, bro. Every single play. They were doubling Wemby constantly, and that's fine. You know, it is what it is. They're taking a page out of the Phoenix Suns book on that. But then with the refs calling as many fouls as they had, it's like the Lakers knew, yeah, we could foul out Wemby. Like, it ain't gonna be that hard. We could foul out Wemby. So Wemby got fouled out. Not only did Wemby get fouled out, Harrison Barnes got fouled out. Not only did Harrison Barnes get fouled out, where's our boy? Where's our boy? Where's my player? Jeremy Sohan got fouled out. So they just fouled out 3 of our players. They fouled out one of our best 3-point shooters. They fouled out our best player, and they fouled out our second best defender. They just fouled all of them out. Just like, yeah, you guys get out of here. All right, this is the Lakers game. So absolutely ridiculous. So I think that's everything outside of our team that I can rant about, because I don't know what the referees were doing in this game. Was it poorly officiated? Technically, no. Like the things they were calling fouls on, technically that's a foul. Okay, you touched him on the arm. Technically. All right, but good God, man. They were like robots out there. You know what I'm saying? These refs were not humans. These was like robots that would call, like, technically, this is a foul, right? By my calculations, this is a foul. They felt like robots. Ridiculous. So that pissed me off. So you got the robot refs. You got the Lakers taking advantage of the program, the programming of the refs. And now with the San Antonio Spurs, this is when I'm going on my team. This is when I gotta go off on my team. Okay, this is where I gotta go off on my team. Mitch Johnson, my boy. Mitch Johnson. Hold on, maybe I should make this a close one. I gotta click it over here. Mitch, come here. Come here, Mitch. I gotta talk to you. Mitch. What were you doing? What were you doing, my boy? Mitch Johnson, come on, my guy. So you're probably wondering, what was the problem with Mitch Johnson? Well, first and foremost, this is the same issue I had last season, right? I felt as if you go with a roster and you hone in on a few guys. You got to open up your horizons a little bit. I'm not saying Carter Bryant should have got substantial minutes or nothing like that. But what I am saying is Kelly Olynyk shouldn't have just got 9 minutes in this game. I'm sorry. He does not get 9 minutes in this game. He's a good player. He's a smart player. You don't do that. Not only that, Jeremy Sohan only getting 23 minutes. That's fine. But even the rotations, it was like, okay, why, especially in the fourth quarter, this is do or die. Why is Sohan just not out there with Wemby? We had to resort to, which I get it. We don't have Cornette right now, so part of that isn't his fault. But we had to resort to literally putting Sohan at center again. Didn't you guys love that last year when Sohan was center? Wasn't that beautiful? Wasn't that beautiful basketball? Wasn't that the beautiful game when he was center? Don't you love seeing that? It's so fun to watch. Olynyk sucks, bro. No, Olynyk does not suck. Olynyk does not suck. You figure it out. You'll figure it out. He was okay, right? He made some pretty good plays in there. So you got to play it. You got to play your roster. That's what I'm saying. You got to play your roster. But this is what really bothered me. So hold on. If I go to, I wonder if, hold on. I wonder if the highlights are out there. I can't play the highlights, but we can at least pause it. And I want to see something, because I was very confused. I was very confused on what we were doing here. Okay, so they do have the full highlights out.
4-game winning streak.
Sorry. Let me. Let's get to the end. So, as you guys can see here, so this is the end of the game. Let's see who's on the court. Now, guys, please make this make sense. Hold on. Please make this make sense. Hold on. Actually, I can't do it. I can't do it because it's gonna. I don't want to get copyright claimed. Hold on. I gotta actually get to where I need to get to. Give me a sec. All right, so that's when they screwed up. It's before this. Hold on, give me a sec. This isn't what I'm looking for. Hold on. All right, so this is. Oh, it skipped. Okay, that's weird. It skipped. It skipped a little bit. That's a little weird. Hold on, I don't know why it's. These might not be good highlights. Sorry. Bear with me, guys. Be patient, okay? Be patient. Patience is a virtue, okay? Let me see. Yeah, let's go back. Oh, this one looked cleaner anyway. All right, so this was one. I'm trying to see the play. I'm trying to find the play where it got pushed out of bounds or tapped out of bounds from Marcus Smart. But it's not in the highlights. Oh, is it right here? It's literally not in the highlights. I am so confused. Okay. Oh, wait, it wasn't the highlights. Okay. Doesn't matter. But who's on the court at the end of this game was very confusing to me. Hold on. All right. So you can kind of see who's on the court here. I'm sorry. No offense, but the San Antonio Spurs are in a situation where at this point oh wait, this is the play I was looking for. Yeah, this is what I was looking for. So at this point, I'm like, look, yeah, this is the exact play actually. So what are we doing here? Why do we have Kelly Olynyk inbounding the ball? Is he really the best inbound passer that we got? Is that what we're gonna go with, right? Also, no offense to Steph Castle. No offense to Devin Vassell. I don't even know what Devin Vassell's numbers were tonight, but I know it felt pretty ugly throughout the game. Why don't we just have Lindy Waters out there, open things up a little bit? This play was designed literally to give to, well, it was a few options, but ultimately it seemed like what he wanted to do was go get 2 points. Like that was it. Like you're down by 2, just go for the winning shot. Because at this point, you're missing Sohan, you're missing Wemby, you're missing Barnes. You want to take this into overtime? This is do or die. Take the 3-point shot. Set it up for a 3-point shot. That's how I was viewing it. But Olynyk inbounding the ball did not make much sense to me. Olynyk pass it in to the feet was terrible. I don't understand why we were doing that. So I know I took a long time just to find this. I just wanted to show like who was on the court. It didn't make sense to me. And if we go back, hold on, I actually want to look at, because I might be tripping. I'm not tripping. Devin Vassell was horrible this game. So Devin Vassell went 2 for 8 from 3. Okay, overall 5 for 14. He was pretty awful. I mean, it just is what it is. He was pretty awful. 25% from 3. Champagny was 37.5% from 3, so had an extra 3 in there. But what I didn't understand is you have Lindy Waters, who's 2 for 2 in this game, and you didn't have him in this game at the end. I really think at the end of this game, having Jordan McLaughlin, which played 3 minutes, yeah, that's great, Having him out in the game and having Lindy Waters, you know, it all comes down to this, guys. I felt like there was not enough creativity. That's the problem. It wasn't enough creativity with this. I don't know what we were trying to get out of this play. I don't know what exactly the Spurs wanted out of this. Hold on, I gotta. Let me let it play. I'll do it right during. Quite literally, what they were trying to get was a layup. Hold on. Quite literally, what they were trying to get was a layup. They tried to do it with Castle. They tried to do it with Keldon. I just wouldn't have Castle in the game. Not to say Castle is like the worst player in the world or anything like that. Obviously, I really love Castle, but you got to get a little creative here. We have nobody. And even if this go into overtime, what's the likelihood of us winning this thing? You have two players. You have Olynyk inbounding the ball. There's 1 second left on the clock, and you have two other players on the court that can't shoot. Well, I'm not saying Keldon can't shoot, but you know, Keldon isn't like a shooter. And you got Devin Vassell, who's already cold. But at this point, you need a 3. Anything you can do to get a 3. They weren't looking for a 3 here. They weren't going to get a 3 here. There was no 3 that was going to be had here. There was no 3 that was going to be had here. The Lakers played it perfectly. So it was just lack of creativity. And another issue that I had throughout this game is I felt like, I don't know if you guys felt this way as well, but our boy Wembanyama, hold on. Oop, that's me. Our boy Wembanyama, was he bad in this game? Yes, he was very bad in this game. But I also think that part of it, the coaching staff let him down, because I don't know why it wasn't communicated. We hold on to turn our timeouts way too long. I don't know why it wasn't communicated, or maybe it was. I don't know. If it was, then I'm wrong. But it seems like there should have been an emphasis on, hey, if Marcus Smart switch on to Wemby, reset. Wemby pass it out, and we're going to reset. Because that's all he does. He's going to foul. He's going to bait you. He's going to bait you into a foul. So I feel like that should have been communicated. And if it was, okay, then it's all on Wemby. But yeah, it just didn't seem like there was an emphasis there. The sets weren't creative enough. Like, we're just giving Wemby the ball the same exact way every single time. It felt as if we didn't learn anything from last game against the Suns. That was very frustrating. And then also, Victor. He has to learn, man. You can't just put your shoulder down. And they had him shook. Lakers had him absolutely shook. But you can't just put your shoulder down and just bolt. Like, you should know that they're going to try to bait you. Like, was it not communicated who they have on their team? They're going to bait you. So I thought that was weird. I thought that was weird from Wemby. But they had him shook, and he doesn't have enough players on his team to really create right now. And another thing too, and this isn't even like fighting Castle, right? Like, I can sit here and say Castle went 3-4-11. He look at his shooting percentages. It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. But Castle is being asked to do something that he's just not great at doing, and that's playing point guard. He couldn't slow it down. And even with that, the San Antonio Spurs wants to play fast this year, which is fine, but you have to have the players who are capable of doing that, right? That play with that type of speed. Castle can play with that speed, but the ball cannot be in his hands, and he can't be your main facilitator us playing this speed. He just can't. De'Aaron Fox can do it, obviously. I feel like Keldon has shown that he can do it with certain speed, but there's a certain amount of control that you have to have as a point guard, that you can't turn the ball over. And the types of turnovers are important as well. Steph Castle turnovers weren't turnovers where he's getting close to the basket and pass out. These were like backcourt. These were backcourt interceptions. These were backcourt steals. So you're just giving them points at that point. 6 turnovers. I'm not 100% sure right off the top of my head if all of them were backcourt that landed in a fast break point. But a multitude of them were. Just these backdoor passes that you cannot have happen. So you need somebody with control, and you need somebody that can be able to play at the pace that the Spurs want to play at. And he can't do that at point guard. He's just not capable of doing. He can be a secondary point, but he can't be the main point guard. And I think that he's shown that's just not his bread and butter. And he wasn't like that in UConn either. That's just not who he is, and that's fine. But at some point, man, I mean, you just got to start getting creative. And the only thing that worries me is I don't want this to end up being, I'm a Cowboys fan, I don't want this to be a Jason Garrett, there we go, a Jason Garrett situation where, if you guys don't know, the Dallas Cowboys were a team where it felt like everybody had to be healthy for them to be successful. There wasn't enough creativity at all. It was literally the same plays and just asking the quarterback to audible every single play. And I don't want it to be the same thing with this team where it's like, okay, Wemby, you got to figure this out for us. You know what I mean? Like you got to figure out these double teams. I don't like it. We need to make sure we have a helping hand, and also we need to be creative. Like, this is lack. I mean, even when you see the splits on who played and how many minutes they got, this is lack of creativity, man. Okay, yeah, McLaughlin, when he was in, he had 2 turnovers. It was pretty bad, 3 minutes. But you don't just give up. We don't have 3-point shooters. Everyone's struggling right now. Everyone's absolutely struggling. And I feel like that last play, you need it to be a little bit smarter. You got 2 players on the court that can't shoot, or, well, one in particular that really can't shoot, but 2 that we're not really thinking is a legitimate threat for this game. One of which did not take a 3 during the game, and then the other one went 20% from 3. So you basically have 2 non-shooters on the court, and you're trying to opt for a quick layup so you can take it to overtime. Why are we even trying to take it to overtime? Shoot a 3. Make it happen. Get creative. Put Lindy Waters out there. Do what you got to do to win. All right. So that's all my ranting. That's all I have to say about that. So here's some positives. I know that was a lot, but here's some positives, okay? Here's some positives. I'll start with the players. Jeremy, our boy is back. Ladies and gentlemen, our boy is back. Well, my boy is back. A lot of y'all talk trash about him. My boy is back. He was absolutely... It was so weird. And my friend, I was talking to Swish Hill about this on the phone, and he was completely right. He said this, but I agree with him. He was like, Jeremy Sohan looked slightly unpolished only because of the injury, but he also looked really great. And it's like kind of a weird thing to say. Like, he looked really great, but obviously you could tell he's coming back from injury. In 23 minutes, he gave you 16 points. Did he have 1 steal or 2 steals? I thought he had 2 steals in this game. Apparently he had 1. He had a steal. Maybe it was another one that he kind of caused the steal, but he didn't get it himself. But he had a steal in this game. His shooting stroke looks much better. He gave you a 3, and that's all I want from Sohan, by the way. I just want him to take a couple 3s a game. 2 or 3, and if you can hit 1, we're good. We're golden. So he forced them to respect his 3-point shooting with his 1 3. But overall, I thought he was really good. Defensively, he played well. It was one play that really sucked. He played perfect defense on Luka. Luka got his own rebound and then was able to score. That really pissed me off. But he played really well. And I would argue and say that he was which I said this last season too, but I feel like he's one of the most consistent players where you know exactly what you're going to get out of Sohan every single night. He's that way. I would say Cornette is that way. What's another player that you guys would say is that way? Like, exactly. I think Fox is that way. You know what you're going to get out of Fox every night. Trying to think another player on this team. Right now, I can't say that about Wemby, offensively at least. I can't say I know what I'm going to get every night. Devin Vassell, we never been able to do that. Obviously Steph Castle, you don't know. What is a cornet? I don't know. I don't know what a cornet is. I think it's a car or something. Anyways, yeah, maybe Harrison Barnes for the most part. Maybe Harrison Barnes. Yeah. But yeah, Why didn't Carter Bryant play? Lack of creativity, bro. It just didn't make a lot of sense. We're struggling interior, right? We're struggling interior defense. Carter Bryant can jump leaps above you. Okay? I'm not saying he's going to stop anybody at the rim, but he might would have got a block here or there. That hustle would have been there. He could have made a play. He could have got a steal in there. I don't understand it. And this is a game, like I've said this last season in certain games, this was one where we needed all hands on deck. The referees are calling every foul. I mean, just throwing them out there. Every foul you can think of is getting called. They're baiting Wemby. Wemby can't even play because he got to sit on the bench constantly. And they're attacking the rim at will. Why not throw out another defender out there? Yeah. So, yeah, Mitch Johnson kind of upset me. But anyways, Jeremy Sohan was really good. That's kind of it. Oh, by the way, Keldon was fine. Keldon was fine, too. I'm sorry. Keldon was good. Keldon was good during this game. I feel like I haven't really had to rant about Keldon for a minute. So, it's like kind of a gimme now. Like, Keldon played well. He's been good this season. He's been a really good role player, I would say. But overall, yeah, that's terrible. But even with all those complaints, here's the positivity, okay? With all the complaints that I threw out there, the Spurs lost by 2. And it wasn't like they were down by 50 and then they made some type of run in the fourth and got lucky. No. This was a close game all the way through. Spurs played sloppy. They didn't get creative with Wembanyama whatsoever or how we're going to give him the ball. They didn't have an emphasis on who's guarding Wemby and when to pass out when X player is guarding Wemby. They didn't run any different sets to try to get Wemby the ball. It was very ugly, very stupid, very dumb. But even with how poorly they played, and even with missing their point guard, even with some of the questionable rotations, even with Sohan and Olynyk and Lindy Waters coming off of an injury, even with all of that, even with Steph Castle shooting 20% from 3, with Devin Vassell shooting 25% from 3, with Vic shooting 0% from 3, horrible offensive performance overall from this team. And with that all that being said, they lost by 2. A close game, not they made a run. They lost by 2. Period. It could have went either way. So there's that. That's the positivity I have from this game. I really should take notes for these because I feel like I go like a little ranty sometimes. But I hope you understand what I was saying. I hope it made sense. But overall, it was very frustrating. It was an ugly game. Not very fun to watch. But we lost by 2. And now the San Antonio Spurs have Houston coming up. Which, if you guys don't know, the Houston Rockets just won their game. I'm pretty sure convincingly, the last time I was checking in on it. Won their game convincingly against the Grizzlies. And they currently are on a 5-game winning streak. So, the Rockets look really good. They're tied with us now. And we just gotta battle it out. We gotta battle it out. But like I said, guys, I don't want it to get to the point where we're like, oh, we need every single on deck for us to win these games. I don't want it to be like that. The Spurs could have won this, even with the refereeing, even with some of the silliness that happened. You could have still won it if you would have got a little bit more creative. That ending was very irritating. Playing for the tie made no sense to me. Played no sense to me. That should have going for the layup should have been a smoke screen for a 3. I honestly believe that. You can say that I'm wrong, that's fine, but I think it should have been a smoke screen for actually going for a 3. And you should have had a lot of 3-point shooters out there. But, when you play it this way, the Lakers don't have to commit. They don't have to commit to the arc. They don't have to commit to your 3-point shooters. You right? Yeah. I know sometimes, like, when we lose, if I just come on here and be like, the Spurs sucked, anybody would agree. But those are kind of my takeaways, man. I don't know what else I can add. I mean, I could talk about Julian Champagny missing his free throws, but like, by the end of this game, I kind of felt like he was gonna miss them. Like, I'll just be honest, I kind of felt like he was gonna miss them. Like by the end of the game, man, it felt like we had second stringers out there. But I really need, it's poor. I can't really think of a great reason for Devin Vassell to be out there during this game as much as he was. Just to be honest, I felt like this was one of those games where let somebody else take over a little bit. I feel like Sohan should have got more minutes. He is, and by the way, if this game didn't prove it to you, I mean, you shouldn't need proven. You've seen it before, but he's a starter. Like, Sohan should start. Like, he's obviously the starter. He should start. He shouldn't come off the bench. But in this game, with you not having a center, they said, okay, well, you got to play center. Very dumb. Don't get me started on Julian missing his free throws. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It was just a crazy game at the end. But it's all right. Brights were too light. Brights were too light. Lights were too bright. It's very late right now. All right, done with this segment.